Oh.
My eyes.
Watch your fingies. Welcome to the CBM channel. If you're new here, it's for a guy like myself that has little to no real culinary experience or teaching, likes to have fun in the kitchen and take on gourmet foods or just good meals at that. And so today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be really fun to cook. We're going to do Philly cheesesteaks. I've never done this, and as my past videos, sometimes looks can be deceiving, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So as you can see from the groceries, there's not a lot here, but that's okay. You don't have to have so much to make something so great. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna start with our bell peppers. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut these into long strips to start with. So what I'm gonna do is I like to just take right here and carve out around the core. Now we're just gonna take the bell peppers, cut them into long slices and dice them up. Next, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna peel and dice one whole onion. Okay, so I might have miscalculated. I've already put some onion in the container. This is only half an onion, so I think it'll be alright if you only do half an onion. Do a whole onion, you might get heartburns. So I'm gonna move this, we'll cook this, and then we'll start prepping our meat. One thing I forgot to add is the jalapeno, so I'm just gonna cut this stem off right here. Take these seeds out because I really don't want to burn my mouth or oh, and wear gloves when you do this because if you touch your mouth or face or eyes after this, will not be very fun. I can guarantee that. Then what I'm gonna do is just cut these into strips. Watch your fingies. Now we're just gonna give these a quick dice. Okay, so now I'm gonna take these jalapenos, throw them in with the other vegetables, and then we'll start cooking. Okay, so now that we got our pan ripped running ready, what we're gonna do is we're gonna toss in our vegetables as well as our jalapenos. Give that a nice saute. One thing I also forgot is garlic, so I'm just go ahead and add that in there now. Alright, so we're gonna hit these vegetables with some salt, some pepper, and a touch of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, so now that our vegetables are done, what I'm gonna do is set these aside, get our meat prepped, and then we'll start cooking. So here's our meat. This is a ribeye steak. What we're gonna do is cut this into thin slices. It's been sitting in the freezer for a little bit. Not enough to be frozen, as you can see.
Are you sure about that?
But enough to where when we cut it, it won't be too much of a hassle, and hopefully it'll just cut right through it. So to cut our steak, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take and do really, really thin slices, preferably against the grain, so that way it keeps the marbling.
One eternity later.
Okay, so now that we have all of our meat cut into thin slices, what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this in a pan. You know, you can do it on a griddle, and I know it's ideal, but you know, not everybody has a griddle, and so this channel is about working with what you do have. I do have a griddle, but I'm gonna show you guys how to make this without all the necessary equipment. So we're gonna throw this in the pan and get cooking with our seasonings. Okay, so now that the pan is rip roaring and ready, what we're gonna do is go ahead and add our meat and start the cooking process. Okay, so for seasonings, we're gonna go on with some pepper, some salt, some more Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of garlic powder, and a touch of onion powder. So the camera died, sorry about that. So basically the meat's just been sitting right here. I've just been pressing it down so that way it gets some nice coloration on each side. I'm gonna give it a nice flip so that way a nice sear appears on both sides. Okay, so since it did get dark, I did turn on the stove light. So now that our meat's just about done, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our vegetables and add them back in with our meat. Let those get reheated and cooked up in there just as well, so all the flavors combine. Okay, so now that the vegetables are done, all I have to do left is toast the buns, and then we can start building this masterpiece of a sandwich. I apologize for the lighting, but we're gonna toast our buns, all sides, throw in our cheese, let that melt, and then throw it right in the bun. Alright, so to build this, we're gonna grab our plate, our nice toasted bun. We're gonna come in with a little bit of aioli sauce. What this is basically just mayonnaise, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, salt, pepper, and you know, whatever else you wanna put in there. This stuff is amazing. We're gonna dress up this. Then we're gonna take our provolone cheese, stuff this down in here. Then we're gonna come in with our meat. I'm going with a delicious mac and cheese from France called Crofty, or also known as Kraft, which is also really good. And there you have it, delicious Philly cheesesteak. All right, so now that it's done, what I did was just cut it in half so that way I could take a bite without, you know, struggling like crazy. So here we go. That Philly cheesesteak is so great. So this Philly cheesesteak may not look traditional or be your traditional type of cut meat, but let me tell you, this thing is amazing. You could not get this quality at a restaurant anywhere. So while I finish this up, stay tuned for more recipes.